Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Say Less Basketball Podcast. You're currently listening to episode 20. I got myself here, Zach, Mohammed as always, Will as always, the squad. But breaking down some playoff basketball this week, some interesting series. The playoffs is still quite moving along this week, so we're going to analyze it again. And there's going to be some some heated takes and some getting into. So it's exciting this week as always. But episode 20, as always, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Hit all the social media. But if you're not doing that by now, come on, what are you doing? But
that's facts.
First thing though, episode 20. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're on episode 20.
20 in.
We're almost at a full season, full 23 episode season. That's the regulation, United States. But starting it off here, let's talk about the Jazz Clippers series. So Utah was up 2-0, and then the Clippers recently tied it on Saturday. It's probably going to be, there's maybe a few games played by the time this episode is aired. But
one more. Yeah.
Interesting that the Clippers won game 3 after being down 2-0. It's I also want to talk about really quick. One thing I love about basketball is just how much the series changes when you switch home courts. It's because Jazz were in control of that series. We're up 2-0, and then they go back to the Clippers, and they just beat them 132-106. So have you guys' opinions changed on this? I know I said Clippers in 7, but Mohammed and Will, are you still sticking with the Jazz, yes or no?
I don't think I said the Jazz. I'm pretty sure I said Clippers in 5.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. We'll have to roll the tape, but if I did, I'm obviously wrong about that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sticking with the Clippers. I mean, they showed tonight what happens when their stars get going, and that's really what determines success in the playoffs is your stars. Like the team with the better stars usually is going to win the series. And Kawhi and PG were money tonight. I mean, we give playoff P. He kind of gave himself a nickname, and then people just pretty much shitted on him for it.
Yeah.
But he was playoff P in a good way tonight. That man was nuts. Kawhi was nuts. I mean, and this is kind of how it was the last series against the Mavericks. First 2 games, both of them were like, maybe they put up numbers, but in kind of like empty ways. But tonight, it really wasn't like that. But the Clippers, dude, I'm telling you, I said it a few episodes ago. Their depth, man, their depth is nuts. Yeah. And it really is. I know the Jazz have some pretty good depth as well. But I think at the end of the day, it's just Kawhi and PG. If PG especially plays like this, it's going to be too much. And then the other thing is, and Mohammed mentioned this in our chat, is Reggie Jackson. That man is balling when it matters. He's balling when it matters. And I did say, yeah, exactly. Man. And I said the other night, if Reggie Jackson's your best player, you're not going to win the game. Just like the other night, he was their best player. They didn't win the game. And I would say Kawhi was the best player tonight, right? But Reggie was pretty good. All right. He could be the 3rd best player on this team, and they could win a championship, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he's been balling out. So I guess I would say the Clippers win the next 3 after this, and maybe it goes in 6. You might be right. It might be in 7, Zach, because probably it's not really a series till the home team loses, right?
Right.
Like you're kind of attesting to.
I know.
So except in the Mavericks Clippers series where the home team, it wasn't a series till the home team won. But I don't know. I guess I could see this going 7 at this point, because I don't know if they can beat the Jazz 4 times in a row, but I still picking the Clippers.
Mohammed, let your speak your Reggie Jackson talk. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna talk about the first two games, and
Oh, okay, true. Go ahead. Then.
basically the Clippers didn't start trying until the second half of both games, and it was kind of too late. Kawhi and PG obviously they didn't really shoot terrible. I know Paul George game 2 shot a little bit bad, but Kawhi was kind of coasting, and I felt like that's why they lost the first two games. Just Kawhi and PG weren't aggressive enough. Obviously today, especially Paul George, the first half scores 20 points, was hit like 4 threes. Reggie Jackson 4 for 4 to start off the game from 3. But like Will said, if Reggie Jackson is your best player on the floor when you have Kawhi and PG in playoff game, you're not going to win that game. You won't win that series if that's how they play rest of the series. But yeah, I like the way Paul George and Kawhi came out today. Paul George's first half was kind of the man, then Kawhi's second half was the man. They both scored 30 plus. And they played really good defense on Donovan Mitchell. He didn't start heating up till the second half, but first half they were swarming him with double teams, triple teams, and they had to get beat by Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson because they're the kind of guys that were kind of the man, the two people for the Jazz in the first half. So yeah, I think if they just keep it up, I think the defense, if they can just contain the Jazz's 3-point shooting, I think they'll win the series in 6. But at the same time, fatigue has a factor, and obviously hot and cold shooting has a factor too. So it could go either way. Originally, I said Clippers in 5 like Will did, but obviously that's not possible now. So I say Clippers in 7, just because I think the Jazz home court and the 3-point shooting is gonna be too much. So, but at the same time, I feel like Kawhi and PG are gonna step up, and if they step up, the Jazz have no chance. I don't care how hot Donovan Mitchell is. I mean, same thing happened to Luka. You saw what Luka did last series, especially Game 7, Game 6. He was going off, and they still lost just because he had nobody else but Kawhi and PG.
Right.
So I think Clippers defense, and then I think that'll be how they win this series. And the stars showing up, but that's something they should be doing every game. But their defense, and I think Jazz's home court and 3-point shooting will be the keys for them to win the series. So, but I still say Clippers 7.
Let me say one thing, because you kind of said it, and we talked about it a lot in the Mavericks Clippers series, is shooting percentage, especially from 3, bro. I'm looking at tonight, freaking the Jazz. They shot pretty well, 43% from 3. Yeah. But the story was the Clippers shooting 53%, which is you're not going to win if you're giving up 53% from 3. Also, the Clippers shot 56% from the field in general, and then the Jazz shot 43%. Comparatively, the previous games that the Jazz won, they were shooting around 50% from 3 and 50% from the field. So, obviously significant. Those are significant drop-offs, like 7-8%. So that's the story. It's just like with the Mavericks series. Every game the Mavericks won, their shooters were on fire. And like the Jazz, nobody was shooting well tonight outside of Rudy Gobert and Joe Ingles, who didn't really shoot much. And then Rudy Gobert is taking, 5-footers. So that's not saying much. Jordan Clarkson was terrible. Bogdanovich, terrible. O'Neal wasn't bad. But Donovan Mitchell even wasn't astounding. He wasn't bad shooting wise. So I mean,
right.
But you're right. I'm looking at this series already, and I'm looking at it's looking like Donovan Mitchell's Luka right now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's really just looking like he's carrying the offensive load, and then if his shooters are hitting their shots, then they win. If they aren't, then there's nothing they can do.
Especially if the Clippers.
Mike Conley is a key if he comes back.
I forgot about that. If Mike Conley comes back, that's actually big.
They can't double and triple team and swarm Donovan like they did today.
Especially because Mike Conley can really run an offense, and he's just high IQ player.
Yeah, another good shooter too.
That's facts.
I thought the Denver Phoenix series was going to be the best one, but this one's turning out to be.
I was going to say Batum was shooting really well tonight. This game 3 for the Clippers, and he led in plus minus too. He had plus 24, 17 points. Man had 6 for 9, 4 for 6.
Man,
holy shit!
Even Beverly was pretty good for the Clippers.
Yeah.
Who else? Zubac was doing decent.
Kennard. I mean, they
Luke
all
Kennard
put in
came
good
in,
minutes.
Yeah,
They
man
put
was
in
all
good
did.
minutes.
man was really good. Yeah, man had plus 21.
They actually had nobody minus. That's amazing. And the Jazz had nobody plus. That's
How you do
that's
right?
hilarious.
There's defense right there.
Well, they were trailing most of the game.
I mean,
so
yeah,
I
they got
understand.
they got obliterated. So I
Yeah.
guess it makes sense. But that is a interesting stat.
One
But,
thing
yeah.
that I did see because I was watching the game and I think it was the third quarter. Coach Snyder put in like I want to say the bench warmers, but he put in some guys that haven't seen a lot of minutes. I forgot his name. I think it was like I don't know some foreign dude. I forgot
Thomas, Forrest, Morgan, Ilyasova, Brant. Oh no, Brantley didn't play. It had to be Ilyasova or
No,
Oni. Oni.
It was Oni and some other guy. I think he's like Neto or it's like
Niang, Gory Niang.
yeah. I think him.
Oh no,
Wow.
Georges Niang. I'm thinking Gory Jang. Okay.
But
His
those
name's-
those two guys, I don't know if I didn't watch the first two games, so I don't know if they play a lot of minutes. But when they got inserted into the game, they caused a lot of bad turnovers, and I just feel like the Jazz's chemistry kind of broke apart because those guys are in. So I don't know if he just want to try something new because they're down 15 points, but I thought that was something interesting to see.
They did play in the first. They have not scored in this series.
Okay,
They played.
yeah.
They played in other games though. They just haven't done
Right.
anything.
So I guess their depth is not as good as the Clippers.
I said it before. I say it again. I still think the Clippers have the best roster in the NBA. I really do. Deepest team. I'm looking right now. I count 10 players right now that can play easy.
Yeah,
10
they even
players
play.
that give them good minutes.
Hey,
They
man.
even play Rondo,
And they
or
didn't even play.
Cousins
Yeah, they don't
last
have
game or
Rondo.
today.
Yeah, exactly. No, they played. Cousins tonight,
Oh yeah,
but they
did?
didn't play Rondo. Yeah, they didn't play.
No, they didn't.
Really?
Cousins or Rondo. No.
I didn't see Cousins.
No, they
today.
didn't. They didn't play Rondo, but they played Cousins, right?
What are you looking
Or am
at,
I-
bro? It's his DNP
No.
coach's decision.
I must
wa-
be
I-
looking
I
at the
was-
game before.
Yeah, I watched the game. I didn't see Cousins today or
So
Rondo.
they
Crazy.
don't play. They don't play Cousins, Patrick Patterson, Rondo, or Ibaka. Ibaka's still hurt, right?
Yeah.
He's off for the
That's-
season.
Okay. Oh, that sucks. So
That's
there's
nuts.
there's four players right there that could give decent minutes. Yogi Ferrell,
Even
Not
man
sure,
and even
but-
man and Kennard can have can make decent
Well,
contributions.
Kennard and
they
Beverly
gotta-
are the ones that took
Right.
Rondo's minutes
Right, right,
and
right.
Maine.
Yep.
I think it's just for this series. I think those are just better matchups because they're shooters and they want to match the shooting of the Jazz. So
Mhm.
I understand why Lou's not playing Rondo
But-
right now.
But yeah.
they've
will-
got a 12-man roster.
Yeah.
Man.
And usually in playoffs, teams only play like 8-9 guys,
Yeah.
significant minutes. So
Yep. That's
crazy.
They have so much depth they can just match up probably well with anybody, to be honest.
man, I just wish they had Ibaka, man. He would be
I
so
know.
key to the series.
I love Ibaka. Ibaka.
Ibaka, Jinx, you owe me a.
Stop.
So, I don't know. Is that what the
Like-
cool kids say?
Oh my god. But yeah, so we just did the other. Okay, so we'll do the other West series. Suns and Nuggets. Suns are up 3-0.
Mhm.
I mean, just flat out dominating so far. Probably we all expect them probably to win this series, I think. Despite the Nuggets having the MVP. But I mean, they got CP3, they got Booker, they got Aiden, Crowder. I mean, they have a nice, well-rounded team. I mean, we've talked about it before, and Will said, Phoenix is the worst 2 seed in the history of the NBA. But I mean,
You love bringing that up, huh?
I mean, they sure. I'm gonna bring it up as long as they're still in the playoffs, bro. But I mean, they're not playing like the worst 2 seed. I mean, damn. I mean, they're up 3-0 against this Nuggets team, I mean, they proved last round against the Blazers that even without Jamal Murray, they're still a threat. And they have the MVP with Jokic. They're just well-rounded. I mean, they have a good defense with CP3 and then Bridges. And then I think Crowder and Aiden play decent defense as well. then they have those scores with CP3 and Booker too. So they're just well rounded. I see them making the Western Conference Finals. I don't know if they can get past the Clippers, but that would be a really interesting series to see the Suns and the Clippers. That'd be cool. But obviously, we'll have to stand by for results. But your thoughts on the Suns and the Nuggets, gentlemen? Are you surprised that the Nuggets are down so heavily against the Suns, or are you impressed with the Suns?
I guess I'll go.
Go ahead.
I didn't really want the Nuggets to be in this series because I knew they'd be getting demolished because I didn't trust Jokic's help. That's why I kind of wanted the Blazers to win that series in the first round, but obviously their defense can't stop the park car. So it was just pathetic. And I didn't watch the first two games. I did watch game 3 yesterday, the whole game. And Jokic was the only person that seems like to know how to shoot. Him and Morris, Barton came off the bench. Those two guys came off the bench, but Porter started off bad. Aaron Gordon started off 0 for 9 from the field, and then he didn't start hitting his shots for the third quarter, but they're down 15, 20 points by then. And it's just, I'm not surprised it happened because without Jamal Murray, I feel like this series is about overcoming the firepower. I don't care about the defense or anything else. I just felt like it was offense versus offense. And I felt the Blazers would have been a better matchup because I know the defense is bad, but the offense could have matched the Suns' offense too because I feel like they're kind of built the same. Jokic and Aiden, not really good defenders, but pretty good offensive players. Obviously, CP3 and Damian Lillard, top 5 point guards in the league. McCollum, Booker, Anthony with Michael Bridges, Jay Crowder. And they all have built the same kind of soul.
Right.
I just feel bad for the Nuggets, man. I feel bad for Jokic. Man put up 32 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like Dame did against them, 55 points, 10 assists, still ended up losing. So it's kind of, getting what Dame kind of got last series. So it's tough.
That's true.
Here's the story, man. You want to talk about defense? The Nuggets aren't playing it. They are not playing it, bro. And I get what you're saying because the Blazers could have matched up. All right. So you're seeing how much Denver misses Jamal right now. You're seeing it because there is nobody on this team that can score consistently besides Jokic. I know Michael Porter had a game last series where he just went off, but it's clear that the lights are a little too bright for him to be consistent.
Exactly.
And as for the other players on their team, you get some random person to step up each game, but they miss Jamal Murray. It's really honestly just sad because not only are they not playing defense, but they can't shoot, bro. 40% tonight? Are you kidding me?
Shoot.
You got to be kidding me. Like you're giving up. Them shooting like 55%. You're shooting 40. That's a 15% difference. Think about that. You get 100 shots, and let's just say they're all 1 point. That's 55 to 40. That's a blowout. Like that's pretty bad. So they missed Jamal Murray, and I still stand by what I said with the Suns being the worst 2 seed ever. And that was not because I felt that; it was because analytics and data said that. They have been really fortunate because I'll say it again. I don't think they beat the Lakers if Drummond and AD are healthy. I don't think they have any chance.
Obviously not, but that's an if. And
I'm just explaining to you why I said what I said. Now at this point, I would hope I actually want them to make the finals. I would have wanted them or the Nuggets to make the finals. So pretty much whoever wins this series, which it's going to be Phoenix. You know how I felt about the Suns the past few years. I love this team. I want them to make the finals, but their team is so well-rounded, bro. It is so well-rounded. They've got defense, they've got offense.
Yep.
And if you don't have one guy to go get you, like just go at it against them, what are you going to do? Chris Paul is a freaking assist machine that never turns the ball over. He's a point god. I personally think he did deserve MVP consideration. I don't know how he didn't get a single vote, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get a single vote?
I think he was the one that didn't get a single vote, right? Am I right in that, Zach?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I don't
No,
know.
he was second team.
Maybe
Oh, I do. I know that though.
okay. I could be wrong in that, but either way, I still think he deserves some consideration. But they're gonna annihilate the Nuggets. I think maybe a gentleman's sweep. Maybe they just take a game off, close it out in Phoenix for the first time in how many years. But I mean, there's nothing more to be said, dude. The Nuggets need Jamal. They need somebody to run an offense. Jokic, I mean, he's a great passer, but he can't run an offense. He's not that guy. And
I mean,
they
he
don't have
can.
any.
It's just if someone could, make their shots. You would think if Michael Porter couldn't get it going, you'd think at least Aaron Gordon could do something. But that man was just as bad as him, worse than him actually. Not that Aaron Gordon would be a good pickup for them, but dang, Jeremiah Grant and Torrey Gray did better than what he's doing. If I was him, I would have kept those two instead.
Okay. He finished 5th in MVP votes.
So he did get votes, right?
He got 2. So it was Jokic, Embiid, Steph, Giannis, and then CP3. So he got 2 first place votes, but he did get votes.
Okay, then I'm thinking of somebody else that didn't get any votes, but I don't
Derrick
know.
Rose.
I mean, this
Derrick Rose.
Jokic is the MVP, but I mean, he's not going to be able to do this himself. He's just not. This is too much to overcome, and not to mention, Jokic actually kind of has to play defense because DeAndre Ayton he's pretty good, and if you're not, let's say you're not guarding him, you're guarding Jay Crowder. Well, Jay Crowder is going to pull you out on the wing and just drain threes all day if you don't guard him. I mean, he shot 4-6 tonight, so. They're done. They're done, and I hope Phoenix gets to the finals. I really do.
They're gonna have a big advantage whoever they face, Jazz or Clippers, because that series, the rest is gonna be so key. But the thing is, it could be good or bad.
Yeah,
I think they rely them.
Yeah, I'm talking in terms of because they're a heavy shooting team, so it could be good.
Rhythm. It's all rhythm.
Yeah, rhythm might be. But then again, game one of a playoff series isn't really a big deal if you lose. So it's whatever.
Yeah, especially if you're the Clippers. It seemed like they never won the first game and still win the series somehow. So it's fine.
Yep.
I guess.
Interesting. There's an interesting take from that got some people mad. From
my God,
from Skip Bayless, who said that Chris Paul is not a top 15 point guard
of all time.
Not of all time, and he has to get to the finals this season. I don't agree with the top 15 point guard thing, but I do think it would be very beneficial to Chris Paul's legacy if he did make it to the finals this season with the Suns, because they're dominating right now against the Nuggets. And if they get the rest they need, like you guys said, against the Clippers, I don't know if that plays a role or not, but it'd be really big for CP3, and just to get a chance to win a ring with this team, after he's been probably the MVP for this team, obviously, and then obviously 5th in MVP, rankings. So
we also got to say Booker's been nuts.
Booker's been nuts too.
Book's been nuts.
It's been nuts too. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. They're scared.
I haven't really been a big Devin Booker fan, but I did watch Game 3, and that man can score any way. Fadeaways, spot up shooting off the dribble. He was doing left hand floaters off his wrong foot and still switching them. I was like, man, this guy's a killer. So whoever he plays, the Jazz or the Clippers, he's gonna be a hassle, especially if it's the Clippers, man. First, Luke was smoking them, and now Donovan's smoking them, and if they got to deal with Devin Booker dropping 40 every game, then golly, they might have the greatest championship run if they end up going to the finals or winning it or whatever.
Future is bright. The future is bright. But all right, we're going to the East now. Real quick, I'm gonna hit the 76ers Hawks one, and then we'll hit the interesting series, another interesting series last. But Sixers Hawks, Philly leads 2-1 at the time of this recording on Saturday, June 12th. But they play. What do they play? They play Game 4 Monday, and they play Game 5 on Wednesday. So they'll probably, I mean, they might wrap this series up by Wednesday, because the Hawks have not been able to win these last couple of games. And the Sixers have just been nice. I just see the Sixers probably winning this and moving on, like we all talked about in the beginning of this, last week. I don't think the Hawks have firepower to get it done against the Sixers, because the Sixers just have so much talent and dominance. So, anything to add, gentlemen?
Yeah, let me speak on this Hawks team. All right. I
Yeah.
really, first of all, I wanted them to win the series.
Well, yeah.
It would be awesome. But dude, they lost DeAndre Hunter, which is not a huge blow, but I would say that was pretty much enough to just be like, okay, they have no chance, which they had no chance anyways. But if there was a way to like put the nail in the coffin, that would do it. Here, my man Danilo, let me tell you about this man, because I had him on my fantasy team this year. This man might be the most inconsistent player in the NBA. Okay, 17 points tonight. He's probably gonna literally drop -8 points next game.
Oh my God.
And he is the most infuriating player ever. You never know what you're getting with him. I mean, it wasn't like this last year or the years before. Or he'll get hurt tomorrow or whenever they play next. Yeah, tomorrow, I think. But this dude, Philly is way too much for Atlanta. Like way too much.
Yep.
This is a joke, honestly. They have no answer for this. And it's not even like against the Knicks where you just had to stop Trae Young and they couldn't do that. It's like, man, you could just let Trae Young go out and get 80. It probably wouldn't matter. Philly's still smoking by 30 or something. I mean, dude, they shoot so efficiently. Bro, oh my God, 58. They shot 60% last game. What? Are you kidding me?
Dude, they dominated that game from the first quarter.
I know, but like 60%, they're gonna kill them, dude. And this is another case where the rest is gonna matter big time, because whoever comes out of that Brooklyn Bucks series, they're gonna be beat. I think, even if it goes 5 games, bro, because I just think that series is, if the Nets win in 5 somehow, it's still a rigorous series. I guess at that point, the rest will be pretty much equal, but the effort that Philly is going to have to exert in this series is probably nothing. If they really want to, they could probably rest their starters in the second half next game, and who cares? They're going to be fine.
That's doing too much.
Oh my God.
No disrespect. I love Atlanta. No, they can't do that. I really wish the Hawks would win this series, man, but it's too much. They're too much. And this is again, we've talked about this before, Mohammed. I know you mentioned it way back when. This is gonna be why this series, it should show why the Nets are gonna regret not getting the first seed. Because Atlanta
mentioned that.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, see, the Jazz were smart. The Suns were kind of smart for at least trying to get the first seed. Clippers, Lakers. Okay, well, not Lakers, but Clippers, Nets. I think those two needed the first seed more than any other teams in the East and West. But in the East case, the Nets, man, just you see this whole resting with the Sixers and the Suns. Now that they what's it called? Not that they're blowing out the series right now in the second round, and now the Bucks and Nets, and then Clippers or Jazz might go 7 or 6 at least. It's gonna be key because Sixers and Suns gonna have a lot of rest, obviously, but I don't know how to word this. Go ahead, Will. My bad.
My goodness.
He's
on the verge of something bold. No,
you just keep thinking. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's gonna matter because they're gonna be beat up.
Right.
Players complain about 82 game series or seasons, right? Because playing every other day is really difficult. Yeah. So I can't imagine what it's gonna be like going through. See, because the Bucks, if the Bucks play the Nets right, they're physical. They should, if they play the Nets right, it's going to be incredibly physical, like a 80, kind of like the last game, honestly, which we'll talk about in a minute. And that could really weigh on some of those players. Let's just say Harden comes back, tweaks something even worse, and he just can't go. Like that's going to seriously affect their series against Philly if they, whoever makes it. Other thing is, I was wrong about Embiid. I thought his partially torn meniscus would flare up in these games and he would just be done. But clearly that's not the case.
Not at all.
And he's absolutely dominating these games. I mean, it's honestly just stupid. It's stupid, dude. This series is honestly just dumb. It's really just, it's kind of boring.
Well, the first
honestly,
game was entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the Hawks won.
Second game was entertaining too. Little comeback.
Yeah,
Almost.
at the end and garbage time, I guess. It's just like, I don't know. I watched that game and it was just like, I knew it was over, even though it wasn't over. It just, and I will say this though, Philly is fun to watch for me. I enjoy watching them play.
That's true.
I don't like the players, so I don't really care about them.
I just think their form of basketball is really nice. It's super nice, man. Super nice.
Well, because they actually have a post player, unlike other teams.
That's true.
When I watched the game, I'm like, bro, I had a feeling. I'm like, I got a feeling of, man, I really miss seeing someone dominating the paint like Embiid's doing. Because I watched the Nuggets Suns one, and I'm like, okay, Jokic, low-key is a paint player too. He can score in the paint. And I'm like, Embiid can score in the paint. I was like, outside of them, like, who actually like dominates, who can out-muscle, can dunk on, and do a bunch of moves. Nobody else has post moves like them, so it's kind of refreshing seeing somebody do that. In 2021,
Aiden's getting there, bro.
He's getting there, but
he's coming out.
He doesn't have any. Yeah, he doesn't have post moves, so I hope he develops.
He doesn't have any post moves.
Yeah. What I was gonna say before Will kind of put me on the spot, because I was kind of thinking of two different things. I wish the Knicks did what the Sixers were doing in terms of containing Trae Young, because that was why they got smoked in the first round. Ben Simmons is showing why he's a defensive player of the year runner-up. Trae Young was not a factor in the first half at all, and that's why the Sixers were running away, because if he can't control the offense, they have nobody else. Like Will said, Lou Will came in the game, but he was just scoring.
He literally had no one.
They had Bogdan bring up the floor. Bring the ball up the floor, and there's nobody. And if they didn't get a shot, they just ran a pick and roll. If they couldn't do that, they'll just throw up a really bad three, and that was it. Yeah. So,
it's 11 to
Dude, I'm looking at this, bro.
Danilo wrong, but you're right though. Man, it's very inconsistent.
I know.
Man, he'll be healthy, dropping 11 threes one game and
the next three.
Yep.
Oh, you heard his nose, bro. I'm looking at this last game, Philly, Atlanta. This
bad, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is astounding to me. Both teams had 36 rebounds, which I think league average wise is like 10 less than what the league average is. Which is 30. It's okay. So right. Oh, okay. So not that much less, but that's just kind of amazing to me that they both had 36, yet one team won by basically 30 points. Like that shows you how much better they shot the ball. Oh my god,
man.
Dude, that's crazy. Yep. Plus. Oh, this is another game where the Hawks had nobody minus. Or nobody plus. Hawks had no one plus. Ooh, yikes. Big yikes. This game's over in 5. This series is over in 5. It's over.
Damn.
They might as well just go home. Trae Young might as well just go back to MSG where he can actually, celebrate something. Winning.
Mm-hmm.
While he can. Until the Knicks, pick up a star.
That was good for basketball. That series was great for basketball. The Hawks next one.
It was
great for basketball. But
it was.
On to the other East series. Oh right. So Nets Bucks.
That's one.
recently, this is Saturday. As everyone knows, we record on Saturday and then post Wednesday, so we're a little bit behind on some news. But on last Thursday, the Bucks won Game 3, made things interesting, and then they will play the other games soon. They play Game 4 on Sunday, June 13th, and then Game 5 on Tuesday, and Game 6, if necessary, on Thursday. So that'll be interesting. But I mean, this last game, I don't think the Bucks have yet to play at their full potential yet. They won this game 4, this is game 3. Oh, man, I'm tripping. But they won this game 3, and I feel like they could have played better too. I think they could have made more. I think some of the role players could have made more shots. Obviously, Giannis and Middleton carried most of the load. Both scored 30 plus, and both had. Giannis had 14 rebounds, and Middleton had 15 rebounds. But obviously, I think Brook Lopez could score more. He went 1 for 7 that game. Drew Holiday could score more too. So I don't think they have to play at their full potential. And if they do play at their full potential against this Nets team without Harden, I think I'm staying by. I'm staying by, and I think this Bucks team wins in 7. And another thing too, your so-called greatest player in the world, he got his 25 plus shots. Kevin Durant, game 3, and what happened? He was not efficient, and he missed the game-winning shot.
Terrible.
He missed the game-winning shot.
Bad.
So you tell me what's going to happen. Durant needs to step up in this series and make the big-time shots and make consistent shots.
Did you watch the game?
No, I did not. But
okay.
I watched the game. But Kyrie needs to make more shots too. He went 2 for 8 from 3. Durant went 3 for 8 from 3. So make some more shots, guys. And then don't talk. Yeah. But that's my opinion. We'll see if Durant steps up without Harden to save him, the most valuable player on the team. But that's my analysis so far in this series. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. What happens? And like you say, the Sixers against the Hawks with the rest as well. That'll be interesting. But standing by my take, fear the deer. Let's go, Giannis. Any gentlemen? Will left.
Mohammed, I need a minute, bro. you wanna say something?
I want to say something.
Are you still here? Is he even here?
Yeah, I'm here. Just can't believe what I heard.
Yep.
It doesn't really sound like we have another basketball analysis.
What do you mean analysis?
Yo, is that? Hey, whoa, what's that shirt, bro? Okay.
Talking about mine?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. Long live the king.
I'm holding my phone, so I can't do. Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Long live the king, man.
Facts.
But back to Bucks and Nets. I'm proud of Giannis and Middleton. That's what I want to see from them.
Yep.
Just take a bunch of shots, carry the team. You guys do your thing, because the first 2 games, your defense, your top-rated defense, not top in the league, but the top 5, top 10, couldn't really slow down Kyrie and KD. Middleton didn't shoot good. Giannis kind of did good, but his points weren't as impactful as KD's and Kyrie's were.
Right.
So even though both teams shot really bad, I'm happy to see that Giannis and Middleton just kept scoring, kept carrying the team, kept them in the game. It was a close game. It was a classic, 90s, early 2000s playoff game, low scoring and everything. But anybody could have won that game. And, Drew Holiday hit a good, tough bucket. KD hit clutch shots down the stretch. Obviously, that second last play with Bruce Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Bruce Brown could at least. They had plenty of time. He had 5 seconds. He could have kept the ball top of the key.
Yep.
You good, bro?
I can't, dude. it was such.
It was so bad. We talked about
It
the.
was so
It's
bad.
funny because we talked about the team chemistry in late moments, but with the Nets, I'm concerned with that earlier, and then
Sorry, Mohammed.
it happened in the worst way possible. But continue.
Will, no, Will, you can go ahead, bro.
Will
I
needs
don't
a
have
second to
anything to
collect
say,
himself.
bro. I need to.
Oh my god, that play, man. That man. Steve Nash. We were talking about Steve Nash before. Mohammed. Credit to Mohammed for hating on Steve Nash before it was cool.
They drew up the right plays. Bruce Brown just was really dumb in the
Oh,
moment.
There you go.
Kind of pulled off a Draymond Green. You
No.
guys remember that? Draymond against the Clippers 2 years ago.
Draymond, this season.
KD clapping his hands,
Oh, yeah.
screaming for the ball. And Draymond, wants to play hero ball and ends up turning the ball over. And
Oh
boom.
yeah, that
Mhm.
was hilarious.
That's the last time KD liked playing for the Warriors.
Yep. Oh,
That was it.
That was when it all fell apart right there, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, the first 2 games they tried beating with defense, couldn't happen. Third game, when they won, they beat them because their 2 stars outdueled Nets 2 stars. So I think if they should turn to that. Just Milton, Giannis had to play aggressive as hell, and they'll be straight. And if you lose, you lose. Look, I'd rather them lose because Milton and Giannis are at fault than, the usual Budenholzer messing up the minutes and matchups and all the other stuff. I'd rather have them lose the series because of Giannis and Milton, not because of anybody else.
Yep, that's true.
Okay. Let's start off by saying Giannis has been phenomenal this series so far. I understand the first game, first 2 games, you could say he had meaningless points. I get it, but he has definitely not been the reason they lost.
No, I'm not saying the reason. His points were nice, but I just feel
I'm backing him because I know people always give him hate for this.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
And I understand as the best player, you need to find a way to get your team to win. But I mean,
Right.
Middleton, those first 2 games, like, come on, could you just
Yep.
could you
and
try?
Drew Holiday too, bro. God dang.
Oh my God, I've
Yep.
got so much to say about this last game. Oh, Zach, dude, did you watch the last part of the game? Because
I
KD
did.
was literally bringing them back into the game.
KD was the reason that game was
He was
close,
the whole
man.
reason the game was close, bro. He was the reason they should have won. If they didn't play that weak, terrible defense on Drew Holiday, who was that guarded him?
I think it was Brown.
Oh yeah, well, no kidding, dude. That was terrible defense. I mean, it was like such a slow. Oh my God, it was such a slow move.
Should have been and 1 too.
First of all, those last 2 plays. Oh my God, dude, I lost my mind. I didn't think. Okay, so Bruce Brown is out of his mind. And I get it. He was having, the game of his career, right? 16 points, 11 rebounds, big, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Man, I'm going off. I think I could take the game-winning shot, even though I have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant right next to me. But that was insane. The fact that he did that, I was literally losing my mind, bro. And I was at work. At this point, I had kind of just quit working because I wanted to watch the game. So I was just sitting there watching. And then the play after that, they bro, it was a pass to KD and he got triple teamed. It was
ridiculous.
They still passed him the ball.
Yep.
I was like, what? And then he forced up a shot that was a terrible shot. But I mean, it was 1 second left. You have to shoot it.
Yeah.
And he almost made it. Bro, did you guys watch what Skip and Shannon and Chris Broussard said after this game?
I didn't watch it, but
they were basically saying they felt less confident in the Bucks after this loss after this win than they did before, bro.
Yeah.
Because they kept saying because KD and Kyrie they shot terrible and they still almost won the game.
Well, yeah, because Kevin Durant hasn't shot this bad in like 4 years.
Right.
And Kyrie, but then you look at the stats, bro. Even though Milwaukee won, they shot 16% from 3 or 19. Bro,
Man.
they
Good
shot
Lord.
37% from the field. The Nets shot 36. Oh my God, dude. Like, you look at all of this stuff. It just screams. The Nets shot 7 free throws. 7 free throws. Are you kidding me? They turned the ball over. How many times did they turn it over here? Wait, I'm looking right. It was a 7 turnovers as well. 7 they shot 8 free throws, made 7. Turned the ball over 7 times. Like, it's all miraculous. And oh my god, dude, it's crazy because there is no way. I mean, the Bucks played lights out. I mean, they were not really outside of Giannis and Middleton. They were terrible, but I mean,
they scored
up.
68 of the Bucks 86 points, dude.
I can't
Oh
believe
my
that.
god, I don't know what percentage that is, but it has to be in the high 80s.
it's over.
So fun,
Yeah,
it's so
about
funny
80.
looking
It's
at
about
the.
80.
It's so funny looking at the box score.
Something, yeah.
Like 0, 0, 3,
yeah.
9, 4, 35, 33, 2.
I mean, that's what I'm
player.
looking at, bro.
Fair points, yeah.
The whole team was terrible outside of them. This game was just a classic grit and grind game.
Yep.
It was awful. I mean, it was just so horribly played. It was unbelievable because you have to remember the Bucks were up like they were up 25 points in the first quarter, and then the Nets just threw in the towel and put in their bench, and then they come back. They actually come back, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, maybe we can win this game." But it was just, dude, this game was it was hilarious to watch, and everything just screams that Brooklyn's going to absolutely obliterate them because it's hard to think KD and Kyrie play this bad again.
Yeah.
And if Harden comes back, obviously we know then that's a different story. But if let's assume no Harden, I mean the Nets got nothing from everybody else on the team as well, other than Bruce Brown who gave him 16. I don't know the chance of that. I mean, other than that, they literally got nothing. And I forget some of the stats that Shannon and Chris Broussard were bringing up, but they were hilarious. I mean, they were actually hilarious. It was like every aspect of this win just screamed that Milwaukee's going to get absolutely spanked. Because, I mean, Middleton and Giannis were great. And maybe Middleton keeps that up. We don't really have history to support that, right?
Yeah,
I just find it hard to think the Nets will play this bad again. I mean, they had the number 1 offense, I think, in the league or something, and this was probably the worst. This was worse than any team has played in the NBA this year. So, I mean, I'd love to see another 80-something game, but
facts.
It would be a cool game, but probably not going to happen. The other thing is, dude, it's every aspect of the game is just stupid.
It's an anomaly.
It's just dumb. Yeah, it really is. The other thing is, bro, the Nets just get out rebounded by like crazy. It's kind of funny how they get out rebounded by so much and somehow win the games or are close. But like again, all the stats in this game just scream Milwaukee should have killed them. I mean, they really should have. It shouldn't have been close. But
Milwaukee wasn't playing good either.
Exactly. So that's just speaking to you. Like Brooklyn can play defense if they really need to, and try.
I don't know if that was their defending. I thought just
no. Off. I know. I think Brooklyn can play defense. They've shown this year. I don't think they're a great defensive team, but I mean, this game was hilarious, man. I hope this series goes 6. Because I want another game like this. This was funny.
I think the Nets are overrated in this series because I feel like the only way they win is because obviously KD and Kyrie go off, but they could lose if Giannis and Milton, as long as they step up and do their thing, this series can go either way to me. So I think people are writing off the Bucks too easy. I don't think it's as simple as KD and Kyrie go off. Even if they go off, if Giannis goes for 40 and 15 and Milton just adds, 25 and 10 and whatever, like his usual stats, Jrue Holiday does good. I think, they could give him a run for his money.
That's facts.
I think they could too, but the problem is if the same thing happens on the Nets end because.
Yeah, but outside KD and Kyrie, like who's going to put up a 20-point game?
Joe Harris could on any given night.
Yeah, but he hasn't shot well at all this series.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is that nobody on the Nets is
shooting well. Exactly.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is like it just screams that if the Nets even play like close to their capabilities, it's gonna be a wrap. I wanna say this, Zach, because you asked this earlier. I want the Bucks to win this series. I want the Bucks to go to the finals. I want the Bucks. I want it to be a Bucks Suns finals because I need my boys to finally get their respect and people stop hating on them for not making the finals. Dude, I hope Giannis can get it done, man. Oh my god!
Giannis
Just stop taking damn
lately,
threes, bro. Stop
Giannis
taking. Go on. Sorry, I'm just yelling in my mind.
Like I said, I was gonna say Giannis hate's been kind of annoying lately. I understood it last year because they got beat down by the Heat, but it was the bubble, so I kind of give him a pass a little bit. But lately, like I've been seeing on Twitter people saying he didn't deserve his MVPs and he didn't deserve his Defensive Player of the Year. I'm like, man, you guys gotta slow down.
Facts.
Slow down with that. And the whole no skill thing. I'm like, bro, the man's 7 foot, built like a guard in terms of like his body frame. With this, he has a third biggest hands in NBA history. Like, what do you want him to do with that? Like, he dominates in the paint like he's supposed to. You want him to start, dribbling like Kyrie and Harden? Because I don't see anybody else doing that except for KD.
Pretty sure he can dribble pretty well for a 7-footer.
He can. He plays pretty good outside the paint for a 7-footer. So I don't get this whole hate about him not having skill. Like
my
that's
only
why I
critique
said like
of him is
he needs a Chris Paul, bro. If he had a Chris Paul type point guard, oh my goodness, this man could be the next.
They be Shaq and Kobe. They could be.
Well, I think
not
Chris Paul would
Kobe
be
and
too
Shaq.
old.
It would be
I think Chris Middleton would benefit from Chris Paul.
My only critique of Giannis is why are you taking threes? I could understand if maybe you were playing the Jazz or the Lakers, I guess. Not really. I wouldn't like say he should do that, but it's the Nets, bro. They don't have anybody even close to good
Blake
enough
Griffin
to guard him, bro.
Guarding him most of the series, man. It's crazy.
Nobody can guard that man at all. And I get it if they, build a wall a little bit, then maybe you got to rely on some boys to hit shots. But I mean, Forbes is going to come out of nowhere after hitting no shots last game. So he's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, awesome. Or his brother.
Yeah.
His brother, Dude, that game, the ending of that game was nuts too.
Yeah.
It was just back and forth. It was it was
a good game.
Who it was KD and was it Drew Holiday? Just going back and forth. I can't remember.
No, Drew just hit the game.
Oh, it was Middleton. It was Chris Middleton. Yeah,
Middleton and KD.
Honestly, I was a little surprised. Oh yeah, PJ hit that one.
I was just saying, finally.
Yep.
Yeah,
finally have a good game. Finally, Middleton stepping up and hitting his shots.
For real.
This was my favorite game.
That massive contract. Man.
I didn't get to watch it live, so watching the highlights wasn't as good watching it live, but it was a pretty good game.
I was kind of laughing, and then I went nuts on the last two plays because I thought they were so stupid to me. I couldn't believe that Bruce Brown did that.
I know, dude. Golly. Like, man, you had 5 seconds. What are you dropping to? I understand, like, if it was 3 seconds off the inbound and Kyrie and KD were double teamed and you had an open lane, then go ahead because you don't have much time. But it was 7 seconds off the inbound and then 5 seconds as soon as he started driving. Like, bro, hey.
I wouldn't have I didn't understand it because it was God, I mean, it was just so confusing because Durant had hit like 5 or 6 shots in a row there. It's like, it seemed like it would be the obvious hot hand. And I also thought the last play of the game, I thought it was so obvious that it was going to go to KD, right? So I was like, I was thinking they would have him pass it in and then do just like a quick handoff, just so he could kind of get a screen on the shot. And they didn't do that. And he gets triple teamed and they still pass him the ball. I'm like, this is not going to work.
I wonder who drew up that play.
Not Mike D'Antoni, I'll tell you that much. If it was Mike D'Antoni, he would have been driving to the basket for free throws. And guess what? If Durant had gotten fouled in that situation, he can make the free throws, unlike another guy that we know, LeBron James, who shoots less than 60% in the last 24 seconds of games from the free throw line.
You funny as hell.
Speaking of free throw line, Giannis, shoot
I bet
your
you
free
didn't.
throws quicker, bro, please. That's a couple violations.
Does he really?
He got a couple
Yeah,
of
That
violations.
often?
He got a 10-second violation. That's the first time I've
But
seen one.
it doesn't happen often, even though
I
he
know.
breaks it
I
every
know.
single
But
time.
he was taking long on that one. It was like 14 seconds before they blew the whistle.
Bro, I'd like to know how the refs decide it. Like, what unit of time are they using? Because I swear, 5-second violation, 3-second violations,
I got to be 1,
10-second.
3. And
Dude,
then
the 5-second ones on inbounds, dude. Sometimes when I watch games, like it literally they do a 5-second violation, but the refs don't call it, bro.
Yep.
You know how they count it with their arms?
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even look consistent with their counting.
They're not paying attention to their arms, bro. Hey, the only one that they have to enforce is the 8-second half court. That's it. Because
Yeah,
it's
that's
literally
true, yeah.
it's literally on a clock. They can't fake that one. Everything
Right.
else though, they can just be like, oh, I thought he was at 3
they
seconds.
give him they give him a lot of leeway.
No, Gerald, it was 8.
Oh my
You know
God.
how NBA puts the shot clocks on the court now, and it's on the screen, obviously, and then it's above the basket. They might as well have shot clocks for, the 8-second violation, the inbound violations, free throw violations. Might as well, since I could put
There'll be a lot
the
of
shot
work for the
clock.
clock guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Giannis would never get a free throw up. Same with Dwight Howard.
Stop
Or
all
DeAndre
just chuck it up.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan, bro, his form's so nice. And
Somebody said somebody on Twitter was talking about Giannis or Ben Simmons, one free throw for your life. Somebody said, "Pray for my family." Tell my family I love them.
I'm taking Giannis.
Oh,
I
man.
trust that man.
Oh man, he at least gives me a few seconds to say goodbye to everybody.
I trust them.
Yep.
You
All right,
know, that's wild. Damn, dude,
Good
the Bucks
episode,
really shish.
Good episode,
That's
though. Appreciate y'all tuning to the playoffs on all channels. Again, TNT, ESPN. Yes, sir. Tune into our YouTubes, Twitter, Instagram, everything. We got coverage on the NBA, TikTok as well. But appreciate everybody. Thanks for the episode. Love y'all. Peace.
Wakanda forever. Peace.
Long live the king.